There are people who earn a lot and stay broke. And there are people who earn modestly yet quietly build wealth. The difference is rarely luck. It is rarely talent, and it is almost never intelligence. The real difference lives in daily habits. Small actions repeated without applause, without noise, without attention. Habits that reshape how money flows, how decisions are made, and how the future is designed. Financial transformation does not begin with income. It begins with behavior. Money is not only a resource, it is a mirror. It reflects discipline, priorities, patience, and identity. It exposes emotional patterns most people do not even realize they have. You can read a bank statement the same way you read a diary. It tells the truth without emotion. It reveals what you value, what you fear, and what you avoid. The uncomfortable reality is this. Most financial struggles are not caused by a lack of opportunity. They are caused by unconscious patterns repeated for years. And patterns do not break through motivation. They break through systems and habits. Wealth begins with awareness. Most people do not have a money problem. They have a visibility problem. When you do not know where your money goes, you surrender control without realizing it. Money slips through invisible cracks. Small expenses become silent leaks. Subscriptions renew without attention. Impulse purchases feel harmless in the moment, yet destructive over time. Tracking expenses is not a restriction, it is clarity. It is turning on the light in a dark room you have been living in for years. The moment you start writing every expense down, money stops being emotional and becomes mathematical. Numbers remove illusion, and clarity removes anxiety. You begin to notice patterns. You begin to notice triggers. You begin to notice how often you spend out of boredom, stress, or comparison. Awareness creates choice, and choice creates power. Most people save what is left after spending. The wealthy spend what is left after saving. This single reversal changes everything. Saving first is not just a tactic. It is a declaration, a silent agreement with your future self. It says you are important, you are worth preparing for, you deserve security. When saving becomes automatic, it stops feeling like a sacrifice. It becomes identity. You are no longer someone trying to save. You become someone who saves naturally. And identity is stronger than motivation. The ability to wait is financial power. In a world engineered for instant gratification, patience is rare, and rarity creates advantage. Impulses are expensive. Patience is profitable. Every advertisement you see is designed to shorten your thinking time, to push you from desire to action before logic can intervene. The modern economy thrives on urgency, limited offers, flash sales, countdown timers, emotional persuasion disguised as opportunity. Delayed gratification is the quiet rebellion against this system. It is the ability to pause and ask one question. Will this matter next month? Each time you resist a needless purchase, you are not only saving money, you are strengthening discipline. And discipline compounds faster than interest. It spills into other areas of life. Health improves, focus sharpens, confidence rises. Because you begin to trust yourself. Income grows when knowledge grows. The world rewards those who understand value creation, not those who chase money, but those who build skills that attract it. Reading, learning, observing markets, developing digital abilities, understanding communication, mastering negotiation. These are not hobbies. They are financial leverage. Information is everywhere, but applied knowledge is rare. The elite do not just consume information. They filter it. They apply it. They turn ideas into assets. A single skill can change an entire income trajectory. A single insight can redirect years of effort. Learning is not preparation for life. Learning is life. And in the financial world, stagnation is invisible decline. One income stream is survival. Multiple streams are stability. Relying on a single paycheck is like standing on one leg in a storm. You may balance for a while, but the wind will eventually shift. Industries change. Companies restructure. Economies fluctuate. Job titles disappear. Additional income streams are not only about earning more. They're about reducing fear, a side business. Freelance work, consulting, digital products, investments, royalties. Each stream adds resilience. Each stream reduces dependency. Psychologically, multiple streams create freedom of decision. You negotiate differently when desperation is absent. You think long-term when survival pressure is removed. You make better choices when fear is quiet. Wealth whispers, debt screams. True financial strength is rarely loud. It does not need constant display. It does not seek validation through possessions. It is revealed through quiet margins, the invisible space between what you earn and what you spend. Living below your means is often misunderstood as limitation. In reality, it is strategic positioning. It is giving yourself breathing room. It is choosing flexibility over appearance, freedom over applause. Many people upgrade lifestyles faster than they upgrade assets. Income rises, expenses rise faster. Comfort increases, security decreases. The illusion of progress replaces real progress. The disciplined individual does the opposite. They allow income to rise while maintaining controlled expenses. The gap becomes investment capital, and that gap is where wealth is built. Time is the most generous investor. Money invested early works harder, longer, and smarter than money invested late. Compound growth is not dramatic at the beginning. It is almost invisible, which is why most people underestimate it. But compound growth is relentless. It rewards consistency more than brilliance. It favors patience over excitement. It transforms small, repeated contributions into substantial outcomes. You do not need millions to begin. You need consistency and time. Small beginnings carry hidden power. They create momentum, and momentum is easier to maintain than to start. Your network influences your net worth. Not because of favors or shortcuts, but because of exposure. Standards are contagious. Mindsets are transferable. Expectations are shaped by environment. Spend enough time with people who discuss ideas, and your thinking expands. Spend enough time with people who build projects, and your ambition rises. Spend enough time with people who invest, and risk becomes calculated rather than feared. Conversations plant seeds, and seeds grow into direction. Isolation limits perspective. Connection expands possibility. Automation removes emotion, and emotion is often the enemy of financial consistency. Automatic savings, automatic investments, automatic bill payments, automatic transfers. When systems replace willpower, progress becomes predictable. You stop negotiating with yourself. You stop relying on mood. Structure carries you on days. Motivation disappears. Financial success is less about intense effort and more about intelligent design. When your environment supports your goals, discipline becomes easier, and ease increases consistency. Short-term pleasure is loud. Long-term success is quiet. Short-term pleasure demands attention now. Long-term success rewards attention later. One is urgent, the other is important, and most people confuse urgency with importance. Financial transformation is not built in weeks. It is built in years of intentional behavior, repeated daily without applause. No audience, no recognition, no external validation, just quiet alignment between actions and intentions. Those who win financially are rarely the loudest. They are the most consistent. They show up on ordinary days. They make rational decisions on emotional days. They continue when excitement fades. There is also a psychological dimension most people overlook. Money magnifies identity. If you see yourself as irresponsible, more money amplifies irresponsibility. If you see yourself as disciplined, more money amplifies discipline. Changing financial outcomes often requires changing self-perception. You begin to ask different questions. Instead of, can I afford this? You ask, does this align with my priorities? Instead of, how much does it cost? You ask, what is the long-term impact? This shift from price thinking to value thinking changes everything. Price is immediate. Value is cumulative. Price is visible. Value is invisible until time reveals it. Another quiet habit of financial elites is reflection. They review decisions. They analyze mistakes without shame. They measure progress without arrogance. Reflection prevents repetition of error. It turns experience into education. There is also the habit of intentional rest. Burnout destroys judgment. Exhaustion increases impulsive spending. Fatigue reduces patience. A clear mind makes better financial decisions than a stressed one. Rest is not laziness. It is maintenance for clarity. Gratitude also plays a role few people talk about. Gratitude reduces comparison. Comparison fuels unnecessary spending. When you appreciate what you have, you reduce the pressure to impress others. And when pressure decreases, financial leakage slows. Silence is another underrated habit. Not every financial move needs announcement. Privacy protects focus. Focus protects consistency. Consistency protects growth. Money changes slowly, then suddenly. Years of discipline appear invisible. Then one day, the results become undeniable. Not because of luck, but because of accumulated behavior. The truth is simple. You do not need perfect conditions. You need better habits. You do not need massive income immediately. You need intentional direction. You do not need financial genius. You need financial awareness. Small actions repeated daily become identity. Identity shapes behavior. Behavior shapes outcomes. Uncelebrated, unseen, quiet, steady. Because the most powerful financial transformations do not arrive with noise. They arrive with certainty. And one day, without drama, without announcement, without spectacle, you realize something profound. Money no longer controls your emotions. Decisions no longer feel heavy. Opportunities no longer feel distant. Fear no longer dictates direction, not because of a single breakthrough, but because of daily habits repeated long enough to become who you are. That is the quiet architecture of financial change. Not a moment, a pattern, not luck, a lifestyle, not noise, a system. And systems, when honored daily, build futures that once felt impossible.